Okay, we are live. Hi, my name is Tai Sims and I'm a reporter for the Cincinnati Herald. And before we start, I just want to remind everyone to check out the Cincinnati Herald at Cincy Herald at Twitter and at Instagram, as well as the Cincinnati Herald on Facebook. So, Loren Nelson, you are the CEO of Lëvor. Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and about your company?
Yeah, of course. So like Ty mentioned, my name is Loren Nelson and I am the CEO and founder of Lëvor. I'm also the brand ambassador for UWM, which is University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. And I am studying marketing and I'm also going to be a senior as well. And so Lëvor is basically an organic hair care company, which serves for all hair types. And what we're looking to do is desegregate the hair care industry.
Okay. And before there was Lëvor Hair, take me back and talk a little bit about post-high school Loren. Talk a little bit about her dreams, her ambitions. Did you see yourself now starting a hair care company?
Actually, no, I didn't. So going into college, I had about 8 scholarships for my tennis career. And so I ended up getting a Division I scholarship going to the school that I go to now. And my end goal is basically to go on the pro tour. So basically hair care and entrepreneurship was not in my viewpoint whatsoever.
Okay. And what was the experience of being a Division I athlete like?
So the grind was real. Very early mornings and very late nights. And also my weekends were not weekends. We spent them traveling state to state. And but then again, it also taught me the importance of discipline and also time management as well.
Okay. And did being a student athlete give you the drive and sort of the determination to start your hair care company?
Yeah, I would say so, but I feel like my drive really came from early on in my early teenage years when I began to train, because that's when I learned that through hard work you could reach your end goal, and so that's how that kind of translated into what I'm doing now.
And how did you come up with the name Lëvor? How did you think hair? What made you think hair care is the business that I want to be in?
Yeah, so originally I started because actually before hair care, I was making custom made wigs. And I was making these wigs because obviously when you're training every day, it's hard to go from playing sports to a business meeting right after. So I was like, I need my hair to look good at all times. So I started making custom made wigs. But then after making these custom made wigs and each of them taking about 6 hours at a time, I realized that the sustainable aspect wasn't going to last me into the future. And so that's when I turned to hair care products. And so my hair care products originally were my mom's own recipes that she used to use on her hair and our hair. And so then I took those and kind of revamped them in a way to where they're more transferable between many different hair types, and they smell a lot better as well.
Mm-hmm. And what made you think, as a Black woman in America, what gives you the drive and the confidence and the assurance that you can do it all in an industry that, like you said, is currently segregated, and your mission is to desegregate the hair care industry? Why you? What makes you believe that you are the person to do that?
Yeah, and so that gets back to what I typically answer that question as, why not me? So coming from Flint, Michigan, like, and being surrounded by people who always felt like the victim in a way, I wanted to make myself stand out. I wanted to be different. And I knew that the only place and only person who could give me that drive was myself. And so that's what really pushes me on a day-to-day basis. And being able to have the people where I came from be able to look up to me and know that if they put their mind to it, if they have the hard work and determination, that they can reach their goals too. So pretty much I'm acting as a role model for those around me who want to do the same things.
Okay, and is Lëvor a company that is for everyone that's targeted towards the Black community and Black women, or is it a product for everyone targeted towards everyone?
Mm-hmm. So basically what my products are for, or who my products are for, is to be more inclusive. And so as we can see in the hair care industry, there's products for Caucasian women and then Black women. But then again, the US is known to be a melting pot. We have Asians, we have Hispanics, we have everyone. And so I want to create a product line that represents what the US is as a whole. And so that's why I made my products so that they are geared towards every hair type.
Right. And when you think about obviously your mission with desegregating the hair care industry, what is Lëvor doing now to advance the desegregation of the hair care industry?
Mm-hmm. So since my company is quite small as of right now, I'm taking the small initiative to make sure that my products are tried out on every hair type, on every race and ethnicity. And so it's just making a conscious awareness of who we put in our ads, who we give our products to, who we sample out, who we choose as our ambassadors. So it's just, at the end of the day, it's making a conscious decision of who we choose to represent with our company.
Right. And so when you think about you getting your start and things like that, who are your influencers? What businesses and what brands do you look up to the most when you think about where you want to take your company?
Mm-hmm. So maybe I should start with telling you what my end goal is. So for Lëvor, what I look to do is to become a lifestyle company of sustainable and organic products. So not just staying with the hair care, but eventually branching off into skincare and then other household items that are sustainable as well. Excuse me. And so that takes me out to who I look up to, companies such as Nike and Apple, because they are so versatile and they are household names. And when you look back and see the history of those companies, they all started with one item. So Apple, the computer, Nike, one tennis shoe. And now there are these huge businesses that hold everything and they have a mission that they're going for. And so that's what I want my company to do as well.
Okay, cool. And when you think about Lëvor in steps of the future, long-term goals and short-term goals, where do you see Lëvor in a year? And then where do you see Lëvor in 10 years?
Mm-hmm. So short term, right now we're working with partnering with a contract manufacturer. And so by the end of this year, we should be in Whole Foods. And then going on to the next 10 years, like I mentioned before, we want to be a sustainable and organic company holding all lifestyle products. And so, yeah, that's certainly what we're working towards right now. But within the next 2 to 3 years, we're focusing more on hair care and skincare.
Okay. So do you have any skincare products that are coming out soon? Because your company right now, you don't have. Can you talk about that, or is that something is that like hush hush or?
I mean, not necessarily, because then again, like our mission stays the same. There's lots of companies who do organic products, but
Right.
at the end of the day, do they have our mission? Do they have what we are looking to do and what boundaries and things of that sort that we're trying to break? And so, yeah, I mean, skincare, it works. It's organic. It helps your skin overall. So.
Right. So is that just skincare is just planned for within the next two years? Did you say?
Yeah, 2 to 3 years. Mm-hmm. Right now, we're just focusing on our women's line as of this year. By the end of this year, we'll be adding on our men's line as well for hair care. And then after that, we'll start adding on our skincare products.
Okay. And when we talk about, this is going to get a little bit deeper, but when we talk about, for example, specifically Black women and their hair,
Mm-hmm.
what does that mean to
Mm-hmm.
you? Because some people say it's just hair. Are you somebody who falls into that category, who you believe that it's just hair, or are you someone that believes that it's much more than that?
Well, for me, I mean, it's kind of a tricky question, just because for me, when we're talking about just hair, yes, it is, but looking into the long term and how it affects us on a day-to-day basis is not just hair, it's who we are. And so kind of what I am trying to help encourage people with my brand is to appreciate each other's hair, because I know even for me, it was hard for me to wear my natural hair out because of just where I grew up, and it wasn't what people were used to. I went to a private white school for the most of my elementary and middle school days. And so coming into that environment, I was the odd one out. And so just being able to help Black women be comfortable in their own skin with their own hair is something that I want to instill in my brand too. And not only help them be comfortable, but help others be comfortable with accepting their hair instead of being tolerant of their hair, you know? So,
Right, for
yeah.
sure. And you mentioned that you went to a private white school and you felt like the odd one out. So what gave you the confidence to finally be able to wear your natural hair?
Well, it started with my mom because she kind of forced she forced me to do that because she didn't want me to wear a perm anymore. But at the end of the day, it's just being comfortable with who you are and loving yourself. And that is kind of where you get your confidence from. And then also just looking at other women who wear their hair out so comfortably and like wearing their froze and just being able to appreciate it. And you notice that even though that you are the odd one out, people are still looking at it and appreciating it. It's just helping them understand what is new to them, you know? So,
Hmm.
yeah.
And so when you go back and you think about the beginning of your hair and you talked about your mom used products on you and things like that. So you believe that natural hair is a lifestyle.
Yeah, it definitely is. Natural hair is definitely a lifestyle. And I mean, there's many aspects to it as well because we have protective styles, we have your fro, we have different curl patterns, learning your different curl patterns. So it just depends on what route you want to go into because you can either put it away, like wear wigs over it, or you can wear your natural curls out. So it just depends on what route you want to take and how much time you have on your hands to do that. So
And you mentioned having to learn about the different patterns of hair and things like that.
mhm.
How did you learn about those things?
YouTube.
YouTube.
So YouTube University, yeah. So basically that's what I did. Lots of research through YouTube. And then once I got into the hair care industry with my products, I would say a little bit more on the research and then testing out different people's hair as well. But yeah, mostly YouTube is what helped me learn when I first got started on my own hair.
And so when you look at your family, when you look at your younger siblings, because you are the oldest of how many kids?
5.
Of 5 kids. When you look at your siblings and you see that you guys all have natural hair, is that another circumstance that pushed you towards wanting to be in the natural hair business?
Hmm. Let me see. So mostly it's from what stemmed me to go more into the natural hair business is from seeing how others reacted around me when I wore my natural hair.
Okay.
So, and just seeing how much of a, not an issue, but how hot of a topic it was when was to change my hair in front of my friends. And so I wanted to make it normal. I wanted to make it less of a surprise and more of an appreciation factor. Like, so instead of wanting to touch my hair, you can just tell me you like my hair, you know?
Hmm.
So kind of wanting to fix that a little bit.
And so let's again, because you are no longer on the tennis team, right?
Hmm.
So going back to being a student athlete and you've played tennis your entire life.
Hmm.
And I've been on swimming and diving teams since I can remember. Talk to me a little bit about being a Black woman on a predominantly white sport and having natural hair. And
Hmm.
well, back when you were maybe less confident, how did that make you feel? Were you shy? Were you even embarrassed? Were you scared to wear your natural hair? What was that feeling like?
So, I mean, I wasn't scared at all. I was pretty confident within myself to wear my natural hair. The only issue that would occur most was people wanting to touch my hair. And so, obviously, as a Black woman, we take a lot of time. You know, our edges got to be right, our buns are slicked up. And so, if someone comes and touches your hair, and then next, you know, like it's not how you had it before, and that's an issue. And so, that's something that came up a lot. And so, then at first, you don't want to make a big deal about it because, like, you know, in reality, you're like, oh, it's not a big deal if you take it out of context. But then obviously, once it happens over and over, you have to stick up for yourself and say something. So that was something that had to be addressed. But after kindly explaining to them why it was an issue, then things were settled. And yeah, we went
Okay.
on from there.
And talk to us. You said that you had an organic hair company. So talk to us a little bit about your ingredients, how you found what ingredients to use, how you make your mixtures, because you make your all of your own products, right? Just
Yep.
talk to us a little bit, I guess, about the foundation of your company. How you found these products, how you make your products, and then even talk to us about kind of the shipping process and what a small business owner's life is like behind the scenes.
Yeah, so basically, like Ty said, I make all of my products at home. And so all of my boxes, all of my ingredients are stored away either. And when I was in my apartment back at college, we had these very small bedrooms. I was one of three roommates. And so everything was under my bed. And so just being able to find space to make all of these products at once is, I mean, tricky for now, but we're moving on. We're stepping it up in a little bit. But yeah, the ingredients I use are all natural, all organic. And so one of the best ones is the castor oil as well as the jojoba oil too, and also argan oil. And these ingredients pretty much help with moisturization and growth. And then also with my products, it helps with like dryness of the scalp and dandruff, and also helps prevent lice which is really good for little kids as well. And then when it comes to shipping and things of that sort, right now I do all of my own shipping, and I just go through the website process and also purchase like my own scale and stuff like that. But going forward, the manufacturer that we're partnering with will be fulfilling those orders and taking all of that off my hand so I can focus on sales and all that stuff.
Okay, so would you say that is it your ingredients? Is it your marketing plan? Or what is it about Lëvor hair that you guarantee to make every day a good hair day?
Yeah, so basically it's the ingredients because if you see like bigger companies like L'Oreal or Tresemme and things like that, these companies use ingredients that are not good for your health. And also like in 2000, I think it was around 2017, L'Oreal had over, I think it was 150,000 people petition for them to just show their ingredients on their products. And so knowing that you can have products that not only make your hair look good, but won't cause cancer or give you any other health issues. I mean, that's a benefit all in itself. And so being able to provide organic hair care products that help your hair grow and keep your hair soft, I think those are great enough benefits that will set my company apart and do.
Okay. You mentioned Nike and Apple as two companies that you look up to. What hair companies or hair products do you look up to, and do you model any of your products after some of those other companies?
Mm-hmm. So I think, let's see. So one of the biggest natural hair care companies right now is Shea Moisture. And I honestly love how they do have such a large collection. Obviously, it's from a long line of company history that they're able to do this. And so being able to have such a large variety and also serve many different curly hair types, that's
Mm-hmm.
something that I really admire about their company. So yeah.
Okay. And your company, it's animal cruelty free.
Mm-hmm.
You have some sort of special, and you can explain that too, some sort of special that if you give containers back, then you give some sort of discount.
Mm-hmm.
And so talk to us a little bit about why you've decided to not only make your company an organic hair care company, but you've also decided to make sure that the environment is taken care of and you don't want to diminish the environment while making your products.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So again, I think it's really important that we are being aware of what we are not only of what we are putting on into our bodies, but what we're putting out into the world. And so obviously, the environment is very important to all of us, and it takes each one of us to do our part to help save the planet. And so that's why with my company, I want to make sure I'm taking those necessary steps to make sure I'm not the one making it even worse. And so, yeah, I'm just doing any little bit that I can to help prevent those types of issues.
And when you think about Lëvor's business plan, what do you think has been the one thing or the two things that has made Lëvor the most successful? So is it your social media presence? Is it, again, the product? Once people get the product, people are extremely happy with it. What do you think is Lëvor's most successful attribute at this time?
Yeah, and I think the two most prominent things, one being our mission and what we're here to do. So we're here to connect communities and bring people together and basically desegregate the hair care community. And secondly, it's the results that people get after using the product. So it'd be one thing to preach this message, but then someone uses a product that doesn't work. It'd be hard to spend your money on just a movement. But being that we do provide products that are high quality and give you the results you want while supporting something that is authentic to whomever is buying it, that's what helps set us apart and helps our company to keep growing in the future.
Okay, and for all the young Black entrepreneurs looking at you and they're saying, wow, I want to be able to do the things that she does, just kind of tell us what inspires you and what makes you get up every day and say, I want to make my company a better place. And what are some of the tools that you can give to other young people or even people that are older than you that, they want to start and they haven't been able to? What
Mm-hmm.
tools can you hand to other people, especially other Black people, when it comes to entrepreneurship?
Yeah, so I think the most important thing is to know what you want and also have standards for yourself. So for me, I know that I want to leave a legacy and not just a legacy of money, but of how many people I affect going on through my life. And then also, I think another important thing to do is to make sure your vision is clear. And so once you're able to do that, it's an easier track getting from where you are now to where you want to be. And so what I like to do is every morning I write down my goals and what specific goals for the day I'm going to achieve that will lead me to my end goal. So it's always like keeping that connection from here to there, and then it'll always have a one-way tunnel to get you to where you want to be.
Okay, and with all of your successes, can you talk about a time that maybe you were having a bid for an amount of money for your organization or just any sort of instance where you or Lëvor Hair was not successful and how
Like,
you rebound, how you came back from that?
oh yeah. Okay, so let's see, when was that? Earlier this year, I participated in a business plan competition at my university, and I took second place, which was $5,000. So yes, $5,000 is good for the company, but at the end of the day, when you want to be the best, you have to shoot for the best, and I wanted first. And so going forward, taking that L, I was able to learn from the person who did take first, and now I'm applying that for the next competition I'm going to. And also I applied that to the last competition that I was in about a couple weeks ago, and I was able to take first, and now I'm representing my university at the state competition, hopefully to win and go on to the national competition. So yeah.
Okay, and when you as a business owner, when you think about other business owners, do you look to people your age? Or you wrote something on your Instagram the other day when you said that your mindset has to be past the people that are doing the same thing that you're doing and you want to be able to compete with the top companies. So talk a little bit more about that post.
Yeah. So basically, what I was meaning by that is when you're, so it's just like any type of sport. Like if you're so worried about what the competition around you is doing, you're only going to try to be better than them. And you guys are all on the same level. But if you're striving to be where the top is, you're looking to see what strategies they're using. You're seeing what type of social media tips and things like that they're using. And so it's better to compare yourself to the top than the bottom because then you're shooting higher, you're aiming higher, your goals are higher, your standards are higher. So yeah, it's just better overall to not worry about who's around you, but who's above you.
And when you think about that competitiveness and that competitive spirit, do you think that that comes from the background of being a student athlete, or is that just or is that just natural Loren?
Honestly, I just think that's naturally me and it kind of transfers through every
Mhm.
aspect of my life. So, I mean, sometimes it's good to cut down a little bit, but most times it is helpful.
Okay, and if there's anything, any one piece of advice that you have to give to people your age struggling with what they want to do next, whether it's business, whether it's school, no matter what it is, what advice do you have to people our age that are looking to move on to the next step in their life and they really don't know which way to turn?
Yeah, I definitely have something for that. So one thing I would tell you to do is go and follow my Instagram page, because I just released my blog where I will be giving tips and tricks every week on how to develop yourself personally, as well as how to develop your businesses as well. And so that goes from your daily habits to the basic things of business to get them started. And then also just knowing who to surround yourself with and giving you the resources to get started. So I honestly just think in order to get to where you need to be, you need to surround yourself by people who are looking to go that path too. Because if you're around people who are just content with staying in one place, then no one's pushing you. No one has any type of expectations for you. But if you surround yourself by people who have that drive and ambition, then every day you know that, okay, they're moving, so I have to move too. So yeah.
And do you want to give the names of your websites and your Instagram so people know where to go?
So my Instagram page is Lavita, it's LAVITTT, so 3 T's and 2 A's. And then my website is inspobylo, INSPOBYLO.com. And then also my hair care page too is LëvorHair.com.
Okay, and lastly, talk about just one of your specific products and talk about why the viewers who are watching this right now, why they should use your product and go to your website and order your product versus going to the store and getting a Shea Moisture or a Cantu oil or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so one of the main products that is actually the most popular is Dehydration Therapy Oil. And so this product is really good for hydration, and it's versatile among all hair types. And so one of the main reasons why it's important to support local businesses and support Black businesses is because you're giving back to the community essentially. Like these larger companies, they have what they need to sustain themselves, but it's important to support local businesses so that they can continue growing to where they need to be. And so, yeah, feel free to try out any and all of my products. I have a 3 for 30 going on as well, which is great. So yeah, check it out.
And if there is one thing or two things or three things, but more, I'd like one thing. Is there one thing about Lëvor hair that people should know before we leave?
Yes. So remember, Lëvor Hair is here to desegregate the hair communities. We are here to bring people together and connect communities. Like that is what we're all about. We are the peace brand. And so, yes, support us, support Black businesses, and thank you for following us on this journey.
Okay, well, Loren, thank you. I appreciate you for doing this interview with me. If you want to find Loren, you can find Loren at one more time.
Lavita, LAVITTAA on Instagram.
Okay, and so I want to let everyone know again, make sure that you please follow the Cincinnati Herald at Cincy Herald. That's CINCIHERALD on Instagram and Twitter. Make sure that you like us on Facebook at the Cincinnati Herald on Facebook. And also make sure that you tune in to Young Experts on YouTube, which is my show that I host for the Cincinnati Herald. And make sure that you check us out at www.thecincinnatiherald.com. And thank you. Thank you, Loren. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me, Tai.
Have a good day.
Thanks, you too. Bye-bye.